2004, the unparalleled tragedy of the tsunami brought forth the renewed realization that disasters transcend boundaries, and thus there is merit in pooling together resources for disaster mitigation. The BIMSTEC region is home to around 1.5 billion people, constitutes 22% of the global population, and has a combined GDP of $2.7 trillion. The region is prone to natural disasters such as floods, cyclones, earthquakes, avalanches, and drought. Despite its vulnerability, the sub-region has not significantly invested the benefits of its robust economic growth towards increasing its resilience to disasters. Thus, the time has come for developing national approaches that closely complement regional efforts to handle disasters, both in regards to prevention and mitigation.
BIMSTEC signifies a contiguous regional unity amongst the countries. BIMSTEC countries are also one of the worst sufferers of natural disasters. Hence, all the countries of BIMSTEC region must come together to ensure that each country becomes a disaster resilient nation. The BIMSTEC natural disaster management exercise is very necessary and useful to create the whole region a disaster resilient, as well as to enhance its capacity to deal with any kind of disasters in future. All the participating BIMSTEC nation the best, and I hope that this exercise will make the BIMSTEC region a disaster resilient region.
Over the years, India has taken several initiatives to address disaster risk reduction and to encourage all stakeholders to participate in reducing risks. Rigorous training programs are being undertaken at the national, state and district level. To strengthen preparedness, community-based disaster risk management programs, regular exercises and mock drills are being conducted in remote and high-risk areas across the country. Schools and hospitals are being retrofitted and evacuation plans are being put in place. Programs like the National Cyclone Risk Mitigation Project, School Safety Program, strengthening of fire and emergency services and revamping of civil defense are being implemented to build capacities and make infrastructure disaster resilient. The paradigm shift in India's approach to disaster took place after the 2001 giant Gujarat earthquake that caused immense loss to lives and property. The efforts towards reconstruction are worthy of emulation. In the year 2003, the National Institute of Disaster Management was formed. 2005 was the watershed year. It saw the adoption of the Hyogo Framework for Action, the promulgation of the Disaster Management Act, and the setting up of the National Disaster Management Authority. In 2006, the National Disaster Response Force, NDRF, was constituted. Its 12 battalions, strategically stationed across the country, respond speedily to a natural as well as a human-induced disaster. In just 10 years, this specialized force has become a credible, dependable, and visible face during disasters. NDRF has helped save more than 500,000 lives as its men are trained to cope with all kinds of disasters. Cyclones, earthquakes, landslides, floods, and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear or CBRN emergencies. In India, more than 30 million people bear the fury of floods annually. NDRF has through the years played a stellar role in rescue and relief during floods. NDRF medical teams also run river ambulances to provide instant care to affected people. In 2017 itself, NDRF has rescued close to 100,000 people, including 102 expectant mothers. 3 babies were delivered in the rescue boat itself. Its contribution in handling the triple disaster of earthquake, tsunami, and radiation leakage in Fukushima, Japan in 2011 has drawn applause from the Prime Minister of Japan, Mr. Shinzo Abe. During the Nepal earthquake of 2015, NDRF was the first international rescue agency to respond to the emergency. 16 teams were rushed off to the affected areas within hours. India's disaster response and early warning system complements its rapid advance in ICT. The state-of-the-art satellite technology, radar technology, supercomputers, and remote sensing techniques for weather forecasting enable dissemination of information in real time. India has taken a leadership role by organizing the first South Asian Annual Disaster Management Exercise in 2015 for over 80 disaster managers from SAARC countries. The BRICS Conference on Disaster Management was hosted in Udaipur in August 2016. The BIMSTEC Leaders Retreat, hosted by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, in October 2016 in Goa, gave a new energy to cooperation in various sectors, including disaster. To give shape to the implementation and monitoring of Sendai Framework in Asia, the Asian Ministerial Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction was organized in Delhi in November 2016. Committed to enhance international and regional cooperation, India launched the South Asia Satellite on May 5, 2017. It will improve meteorological and environmental information, provide better communication, disaster support, and connectivity in the region. India has taken the lead to augment the capacities of the participants of BIMSTEC countries by providing hands-on training for disaster risk reduction, which is a positive step towards disaster management in the region. To create synergy and synchronize efforts to institutionalize regional cooperation among the member countries, NDRF organized a two-day preparatory meeting for the first Bay of Bengal initiative for multi-sectoral, technical and economic cooperation disaster management exercise in August 2017.
The BIMSTEC disaster management exercise will strengthen the disaster management efforts of member countries. The BIMSTEC countries are prone to natural disasters like floods, cyclones, earthquakes and landslides, etc. It is a well-known fact that the neighbors are the first to extend help in need. Therefore, physical participation of our teams in field exercise will go a long way in disaster risk reduction in the region. The exercise is an endeavor to provide a platform to BIMSTEC countries to deliberate upon the disaster risk reduction issues, regional response and coordination efforts. This will be an opportunity to share our experiences and the practices in the field of disaster management. I am confident that all the participants will be benefited from this exercise and will achieve new heights in the field of disaster management.